Oh yeah, TikTok, you might be on to something.
Hey good people, and welcome back to the channel. I am Belinda J, and in today's video I'm going to be trying 3 of the viral TikTok protein chip recipes that I came across. And the reason that I'm looking for a chip recipe, honey, is because I have an addiction to these chips right here. This video is not sponsored by Aldi. I just buy these at Aldi, and as you can see, the bag is empty because I eat like maybe 1 to 2 bags of these a week, which is not good. If you are new here, welcome. If you've been here for a minute, then you know that I've been on a fat loss journey since like November 1st, and I pretty much lost all of my busted can of biscuits that was brought on by perimenopausal hormonal changes, gluten intolerance and all of that. But I do have a little bit that's left over right here in the back that I want to get rid of before summertime, honey. And I'm thinking the reason I can't get rid of it is because I'm eating too many of these doggone chips. So I didn't want to go out to the store and buy the protein. I don't want to call any names, but it's a protein chip because some of them may have fillers. I wanted to make my own and have more clean ingredients. So I went down a rabbit hole on TikTok and came up with these 3 recipes. I don't know where they came from, but we about to see if those TikTok folks is lying, because this sheet of paper has the 3 simple recipes I'm going to be trying. So let me just turn the camera around and show you the ingredients. And we're going to make them, we're going to taste them, and I'm going to let you know, honey, if them folks on TikTok is lying or if they own to something. So let's get to the ingredients. So according to TikTok Nation, this is all the ingredients that we need to make 3 different kind of chips. So we have some Egg Life wraps. I have one little wrap in here that's a garden salsa with a roasted garlic and herb. We have some pretty clean cottage cheese, some liquid egg whites, and then you just need your seasonings of choice. So in order to be fair across the board, I'm going to use the same seasonings, which is going to be some nutritional yeast, some Parmesan cheese, and just some taco seasoning. Now, I know if you're thinking like me, I'm like, I hope this is good, because this would be great because I keep all of these staples in the house all the time, honey, but we about to see. So the very first one we're going to make is going to start off with the one that takes the least amount of cooking time, and that's going to be with the liquid egg white. So let's get that going and get that in the oven and see how it turns out. So the recipe just calls for a little bit, and I don't even know if they even mention how much. I'm just going to start with about that much of egg white. And then the little videos just said sprinkle in some nutritional yeast. And this is nutritional yeast. If you've never used it, it is high in protein. And I'm going to put in a little bit of Parmesan cheese. Honey, they won't measure nothing, just like I'm not measuring anything. And then I'm just going to sprinkle in some taco seasoning. Sprinkle, sprinkle. I guess that's going to be enough. We'll see. And then I'm just going to whip it up like this. And then this is it. This is the recipe right here. You just whip it up, and then we're going to put this into sort of like a little baking cupcake. I have a mini cupcake pan that I'm going to be using, and then we're going to bake it. So this pan is a non-stick, but then all they did was just spoon it into this little non-stick muffin pan. And I think it's going to go in the oven for about 10 to 12 minutes. So, child, when I saw this one, I was like, I don't know, B. I don't really know. And I still don't know because, the ingredients, they're not really blended well, but child, that's it. And we're going to put it in the oven on 400 for like 10 to 12 minutes. So while we're waiting on this to cook, I'm going to move forward and start preparing, the egg life wraps and see what they're going to be looking like. So this next chip recipe just calls for putting down some parchment paper on a baking sheet and then cutting your egg life wrap into triangles and then putting your seasoning on that. I think the video did maybe spray it. So we'll spray it a little bit. And like I said, I have one of the garden. Let me slice it up. I have one of the garden and then one of the roasted. So we'll just have one of these. And let's see. I'll just slice them like this and make Dorito chips maybe. Well, that's pretty good. Okay, so for this one, we're just going to lay them out. They kind of look like little Doritos. But I just don't know. I don't know. TikTok, but hey, I don't usually watch TikTok. But my daughter, she swears that you can always find good stuff on there. And so, like I said, we're about to see. So if nothing else, it does look like Doritos. So let's just give it a plus sign on that. And this one, we're just gonna, sprinkle the nutritional yeast on it. Now, it did not say anything about adding, but you know what? I think I may spray a little bit of olive oil just so that it can, the seasoning may be able to adhere to it. Because otherwise, I'm not really sure how it's going to stick to the egg wrap. So that's the Parmesan. And then we have a little bit of the taco seasoning. And then this says that it's going to go in the, where is it at? Oh, it's going to go in the oven on 300 for 20 minutes and you flip it at 10. So my other chips are in the oven. So when those come out, we'll throw these in and see what they look like. Okay, these are ready to come out. I guess we're gonna let them cool and let's get in here let's get a real good look at them. It rose like a muffin. But anywho, we're going to let those cool and I'm going to turn the oven down to 300 and then put in I'm going to call those the Dorito ones. And see, this is going to go for I think it's at 300 I'm just going to do 10 minutes because it will remind me to take them out. So other ones going in. Okay, it's time to get these out and flip them over. Well, at least they're kind of holding their shape. They're not, well, I don't know. They're somewhat crunchy. I guess maybe another 10 minutes on the back side will make them fully crunchy. I think for me in this particular oven, I'm going to turn it up a little bit. I think it probably needs to go up a little higher. So I'm just going to sprinkle all of my seasonings on the back side. Stick it back in there for another 10 minutes and see how she turns out. But yeah, we got to be fine by summertime, honey, because summer bodies are made in the winter, and we only have a couple more days of winter, and then it'll be spring. So yeah, let's put this back in another 10 minutes, and then I'll start preparing the third chip. So this is recipe number 3, our final TikTok protein chip recipe. Is very simple. All we do is just take the cottage cheese and put it on parchment paper like I'm doing here, and then we're just going to flatten it out. And then you're going to add your seasonings. Even though this is the simplest one, as far as you're just taking it out of the container and putting it on the parchment paper, according to TikTok, it is the one that takes the longest in the oven, because I think it needs to stay in the oven about 30 to 40 minutes on about 350. So I am just going to make, let me stir this up, get some of the water off the top. Maybe about a dozen or so of these. Probably should have had, I just had a scrap piece of parchment paper left, but anywho, it'll be enough. It'll be right here. So they say just put your cottage cheese down, flatten it out like I did here, and then put your seasonings on there, which I'm going to do. So once again, we have our nutritional yeast that goes. Now I'm just using, taco seasoning because I like taco seasoning, but of course you are going to be using whatever seasonings you want. I'm adding more cheese on cheese. I know that's probably what some of you are thinking, gosh, you already got enough cheese, but it's my chip here. Now, for some of you who are, looking to start a fat loss journey, not necessarily a weight loss journey, because those can be two different things, and you need a little support or guidance, you don't know where to start, you've tried a lot of different things, then I did create a guide called Lose the Fat 2025, and you can go losethefat2025.com, and it is a guide that walks you through everything that I've done and doing to lose the fat. I spent a lot of time doing my own research because I tried keto, and that never was sustainable when I started this journey. I tried, maybe not keto, but low carb. I tried all kinds of other things. And what I'm doing now is definitely working. I'm not cutting out any food groups. I pretty much eat the same foods that I was eating before, except with some modifications. Of course, now I'm gluten intolerant. So, if you need guidance, there's a guide out there, losethefat2025.com. And I'll put a little discount code in the description box. The guide is only $25, but I'll put a code that gives you 20% off. So this is the, I guess it's going to be the cottage cheese chip. When the others come out, we're going to throw these in. So there you have it. Okay, the egg wrap chip is done. Now these look really promising. I mean, they look, and they have gotten crispy. Ooh, I can't wait to try that. Okay, cottage cheese chips going in, 30 to 45 minutes, and then we're gonna do our taste test. Since these took so long, I almost forgot to record me taking them out of the oven and showing you what they look like on the parchment paper. As you can see here on the parchment paper, they look like that they have actually melted into the parchment paper, but it's very important that you let them fully cool before you try and remove them. Now they are definitely crispy, so we're gonna have to see what they end up tasting like. I think for me, I may have, as you can see, that a little crispy, a little too crispy. I think I went to the computer and almost forgot that they were in there because I didn't do the timer. But luckily for me, I was able to catch it just in time. So they are definitely crispy. You see they're falling apart. So I'm going to plate everything up and we're going to taste all three for the first time. Okay, so here are our three chips. A is the one that was with the egg whites. B is the one that had the egg wraps. And C is the straight cottage cheese. So which one is going to be the winner of the taste test? Well, we're about to see. So let's find out. But these are the egg chip. And I don't really think, it sort of looks like a pork rind. It's kind of hollow. But it's not a chip. I mean, it's flavorful. It's kind of like hollow. It's not a chip though. That TikTok girl lied. I'm gonna eat it as a snack because I don't like wasting food, but this is a fail. Now, moving on to B, which is the egg wraps, which we basically cut into like little Doritos. You can see that even fluffed up a little bit. So let's see. This one here, it has a really good crunch, very flavorful. Still kind of chewy though, like a wrap. I don't really know if this can compete with this right here, but it is a chip. I think this recipe, as far as seasoning, is easy. I would still try this again for the simple fact that it does crunch. So, moving on to number 3. This one, more like a crisp. I mean, let's try one that's a little bit burnt. Now that one is really a crisp. I guess if you do let these burn up a little bit, these are really good. So out of all 3 of these, I would definitely have to go with the cottage cheese ones. And what would probably make these a lot, or not a lot better because they're already really good, but even better is to add like some nacho cheese or pepper jack on top. This right here would definitely be good with some tuna. So I'm gonna give this as my first place winner is C. Second place, coming in strong second, is going to be the wraps, and I won't be trying these again, so I guess this is a fail. So comment below and let me know which one of these you're going to try on your own and what seasons you're going to use, because I'd love to, to hear what kind of seasons you like to maybe, perfect this recipe with this cottage cheese. Nothing is going to take the place of this.
But this right here, as you can see, this right here makes a really good snack. So this one, TikTok, you got it. This one, in my opinion, complete fail.